Hi, I'm Janet with Lehman's and welcome back to our kitchen. If you could not tell from my adorably fluffy hat, it's the holiday season, which means everybody is busy opening presents, wrapping presents, getting the family together for family photos, matching pajamas. So we don't really have time to worry about breakfast. But not to worry, a little prep now will save a lot of time later, which means more time for the kiddos to open presents. Today, we're making freezer breakfast sandwiches. The ingredients for this recipe we're going to need are salt and pepper, American cheese, English muffins, a pack of bacon, and some eggs. And the tools we're going to need a skillet, whether it be cast iron, non-stick, whatever you so choose. We will need a bowl or a Pyrex dish like this. We will need a whisk, a rubber spatula, or whatever flipping utensil you so choose. And we're gonna need some canning rings. To start our breakfast sandwich adventure, we are going to start with about 9 strips of bacon. So I'm just using straight out of the fridge bacon. I'm taking about 9 slices, and I'm gonna cut them in half first. Make sure all of them are cut in half, and right into a cold skillet, going to arrange these slices around. Now I'm using a nitrated cast iron skillet, which has all the benefits and heat retention of cast iron, but it's a little bit lighter and has more of a non-stick quality to it. So this will be perfect for frying our bacon, frying our eggs, and maybe even toasting our muffins. Now, the reason why we're starting with a cold pan is I am a very big fan of crispy bacon, and the way to get crispy bacon is to cook your bacon low and slow and render all of that fat out. The more fat that comes out of the bacon, the more crispiness is left in the bacon. I'm going to take my skillet, I'm going to set it on the burner, and I'm going to turn it to medium to about medium low. Again, we want to cook this low and slow to render that fat out. If you cook bacon at a high heat, it's going to be real crispy on the outside, but very, very chewy on the inside, which if you're a fan of that style of bacon, go for it. There's nothing stopping you. However, my personal preference, I like a real crispy bacon. So I'm going to set this here. I'm going to let it go for a little bit, and I'm going to get my eggs ready. While my bacon is cooking and rendering, I'm going to prep my scrambled eggs. Now this recipe calls for 6 eggs because we're using 6 English muffins. And now I'm going to crack my 6 eggs into my bowl and whisk it up. So let's get going. Wonderful. I have my handy dandy whisk, and I'm going to beat these eggs until they are a mostly uniform color. Don't be afraid to really get in there, because we have a lot of eggs that we gotta beat. And that looks wonderful. So I'm gonna go back to my bacon and see how that's cooking. So now that these have a nice golden brown color, I'm gonna use my spatula and drain a little bit of that extra grease from the side of the pan, because we will be using this grease a little bit later. So now that that looks nice and crispy and delicious, I'm going to set it aside on a paper towel to get some of that excess grease out of there. Our eggs are now beaten, and look at how uniform this color is. And this was done very well with our Rita whisk, which is fantastic for doing things like this. It has a very unique shape, which makes whisking eggs very fast and very efficient. Now that we have our eggs all mixed up and ready to go, we're going to take our eggs and our canning rings and go check on our bacon and see if it's ready to go. Now that our bacon is cooked, I'm going to take this excess grease and drain it into a separate container. And what's great about our nitrated skillets is that they come with a silicone grip, so I can very easily and safely not burn my hand while I'm moving my pan. So now comes the fun part. We're going to cook our eggs. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use our wide mouth canning rings as a mold for the eggs. Since our muffins are circular, we want our eggs to be circular. So I'm going to take, you wanna make sure your bacon grease is cooled or else you're gonna burn your fingers and we don't want that. I'm going to take a little bit of that bacon grease, dip a paper towel in it, and I'm going to go around the sides and kind of grease the ring just to give that little bit of non-stick to the ring. And if you don't want to use bacon grease, that is absolutely fine. You can also use a non-stick spray, does the same thing. So I'm gonna do that. I have 3 rings here because that's what will fit in my pan. So I'm just gonna set that in the pan and grease all 3 of my rings. Okay, now that we have our canning rings in our pan, we're going to pour our eggs. So nice and slowly. And we still have our pan at a medium-high heat, same thing that we used for the bacon. So we're gonna let those cook until the eggs set. We will remove the rings and then flip our eggs. And now is a great time to season. So I'm going to take, hopefully not drop the canister, pop some pepper in there, a little bit of salt. Beautiful. Now that we can see the edges of our eggs, they're a little bubbly and they look like they're set. So with some assistance from some kitchen tools, I'm going to very carefully take the rings off. These rings are hot, so please be careful. And now we're going to, fingers crossed, flip these over, pancake style. Oh, that golden brown is beautiful. Gorgeous. So we're gonna leave that sit and let the other side cook for another minute or 2. And I'm gonna take this opportunity to season the other side of the eggs because I enjoy seasoning. You are more than welcome to use more or less seasoning as you choose. So we're gonna let that go for just a second. These eggs look just about done. Beautiful. So I'm gonna set these to the side. I'm going to use this opportunity to also take my pan and toast our muffins. I have a muffin split right here. Just gonna throw that in, get some nice color on that muffin. Now that our English muffin is toasted, I'm gonna take this off the pan, turn off the burner because we're done with the stove. I'm gonna set it on my plate of cooked ingredients and we're gonna head on over to our assembly station. We have all of our ingredients here. So I'm gonna start with setting my sandwich on pre-cut parchment paper because we're going to wrap these up for later. I'm gonna take some cheese, put it on the bottom bun. Next with our layer of egg and slap some bacon on top of that. There we go. Beautiful, just as easy as that. Now that our sandwich is assembled, we are going to wrap them to put them in the freezer for later. So I'm gonna do this at a diagonal and kind of put the sandwich at the lower third. Bring up the corner, kind of tuck in the side, bring the sides over, and then flip it over. And if you notice right here, it should create a nice little pocket. So that way I can take the tail here and kind of fold it and tuck it in there. So that way, everything is all nice and contained, and you can save it for later. Our breakfast sandwiches are completed and they are wrapped up and ready to go in the freezer. You are more than welcome to label these with whatever they are. and you are also more than welcome to switch out ingredients, put more bacon on one sandwich, put more or less cheese on another sandwich. These are absolutely customizable to you and your family and your preferences and needs. You can store these sandwiches into your freezer for up to a month. Now, I recommend using parchment paper to store these, so that way all you have to do is take them straight from the freezer to your microwave. You are more than welcome to use aluminum foil, but if you do reheat these in the microwave, you will have to remove them from the tin foil and put them in a paper towel. We hope you enjoyed coming with us on this Christmas breakfast journey. We hope we are able to make your Christmas morning just a little bit easier. You can find the products that I used in the description or at lehmans.com. We wish you a wonderful Christmas and a happy holidays. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time in our kitchen. Bye!